You're now tuned into pSyk's weekly Nerf dosage.
Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to episode 125 of pwned. This episode is about my modification of the Modulus Recon Mk II. Just before I start the video off proper, I want to say thank you so much for all the support that you guys have been showing me for my past two videos when I shared with you guys that I'm not feeling too good. The scarring's not entirely gone away, but it's a lot better now. My face is no longer swollen. It's very slightly swollen, but you guys can't really see it, so it's all good. The only problem is that my left arm is still a bit numb. It gets really tired really easily, and I still have that very nagging strain on my neck. So I think my neck might still be tilted towards this side. And I feel a slight pain down my lower back, but I think I'm on the road to recovery, so it seems to be all good. So 2 episodes ago, or really actually 2 videos ago, you actually saw that I bought myself an I guess a Modulus Recon Mk II, and I said I want to do some stuff to it. So you can check the time lapse I'm going to play right now. But basically, this is what it looks like, and I finished modifying it. And the reason why I got it was because I wanted to see if the internals were any good. And during that point of time when I placed the order, there weren't any videos or any reviews, especially with regards to the internals of the blaster, online at all. So I went ahead, I ordered it, and I got it off Amazon. It was about mid-January that I ordered it, and I live in Singapore, so shipping takes some time. Actually about early January. So it was sucky because I received a first gen Recon Mk II, so there's no grey markings near the magwell area. That means that I have to modify this area. So the first pause in that time lapse that you guys saw was actually me grinding this out and drilling slots for this, and the second was doing something else, and I'm gonna explain it to you guys really quickly. Now I'm just gonna run through. Basically, I took all the external mods and the internal mods as well from my previous Recon video. You guys already saw my show and tell Recon Retaliator, sorry. And I really wanted to try and see if it would fit onto the Recon Mk II, and it wasn't a direct fit. I'm gonna tell you guys why. Now, Hasbro, I think they are out to kind of stop us from using third-party attachments and accessories, especially the shotgun pump, because 2 reasons. One, the original slide that was on top of the original Recon and the Retaliator compared to the Recon Mk II. The Recon Mk II slide is a bit shorter, so all those pumps that actually utilize the slide of your original blaster is not going to work. That's one thing that they did. Second thing that they did was that they actually made these slots a bit more narrow. So if you guys can see, I had to file it down and widen this part just a little bit because it's kind of like telescoping, or there's a little step down. So in order for your third-party pins to actually fit through, you're gonna have to widen these slots. So that's 2 of the major things. The next thing is that the blaster itself is no longer flat and flush over here. You guys can actually see that this rail is actually protruding out right now. It didn't used to protrude out on the old Retaliators or the original Recon, but on Recon Mk II, yes, it does, and it's a little bit angled. So those are the main issues that I actually face problems with. The next thing is that if you use this trigger, you have to use the catch, the same catch that comes with the Recon Mk II. You cannot swap it out for the catch in a Retaliator. Even though it looks almost exactly the same, I don't know why, but the Retaliator catch just doesn't work. I have to swap it back to the Recon Mk II catch. Also, the bolt sled and the plunger tube is slightly different, very slightly different, and there's a little bit of a difference in the internals of the shell. So if you guys are actually thinking of swapping internals, you guys have to remove the locks, especially the bolt lock. Remember to remove the bolt lock. They've also made it a bit more difficult to remove the clip lock, which I have no idea why, but they just made it more difficult. You actually have to remove this clip release lever before you can actually remove the clip lock. So that's the kind of sucky things. So I just wanted to share with you guys all of these findings that I actually came across when I was performing this mod. And also Hasbro's cutting down on costs. This little jam door over here, the pin on the Retaliator and the original Recon used to be made of metal. Now it's made of plastic. And the pin that holds your bolt sled to your breech is also made of plastic, so it's going to be super weak. So just so you guys know, take note of that if you're doing any mods to the Recon Mk II, okay? Now, since I've actually shared with you guys that I've already swapped the breech and everything, the internals are now retaliated internals except for the catch plate and the trigger. And the externals, well, you guys already know, is the F10555 RS barrel, the rails. I've got this molded worker, I believe it's worker stock, and a seat. I guess it's a just a normal buttstock attachment, and I have worker's shotgun pump grip that actually works. So if you guys are wondering whether it works, yes, it fits. You just have to widen the slots over here. That's all. Now in my hand is a worker 15 dart banana mag, and the reason why I have it in my hand is because I want to show you guys after removing this nut that yes, the banana mag fits. You have to make sure that it clicks in place, and now it works. So no problems whatsoever. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys another mag comparison, which is the Dart Blaster Banana Mag. And same thing, you guys have to make sure you knock it in place so that it's super, secure. And then next one is the PMag, which is a bit iffy. The PMag sometimes doesn't want to sit, but most of the time it does. You just have to make sure you hammer it in. And there we go, that's good enough. Alright, the next clip I will show you guys is a PWND clip, and this one's a bit different. Now, PWND clip sits in fine, doesn't drop out if it's upside down, but if you tilt it forward, it comes right out. Let me just move my finger away from the mag release. Sorry guys. Okay, so it's in place, totally locked in place. Just have to push it upwards and out, and it just comes right out. Alright, so enough of the talking. I have an 18 dart straight mag, which majority of you will have. Sorry, I have one red elite dart. I'm gonna just fire off a few shots into the back just to show you guys that this thing works. And then later on, I'm gonna show you guys firing demonstration on my Modulus Recon internals inside a retaliator shell. Okay, here we go. Make sure the clip is in and secure. Alright, so absolutely no problems whatsoever with this, and I'm liking it a lot. Moving on, I have the Recon Mk II Retaliator Hybrid, and you can see that I have a Modulus Recon Mk II slider on top. And you guys can already see, this is the most forward position. Alright, so that's how much of space they actually have. Therefore, your old top cover slide for pump grips will not work. Next thing, you can see how much of a gap there is on the back. So that's the differences in this guy over here. The last thing is that if you guys notice, the whole thing is wobbly. Look, it just wobbles around, and that's because the slot on the retaliator for the sides is wider than the Modulus Recon's nubs. The nubs are narrower to fit the original Recon Mk II slide. So slots. You see, it's very confusing, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Alright, apart from that, I had to remove the bolt lock because if not, it would not work inside this shell unless you modify the shell and extend one of the guide rails inside, which is going to be a hassle anyway, so just remove the bolt lock. Alright, so apart from that, this thing works just as expected. So here we go, firing demonstration for you guys. And yeah, I don't have the end cap because the end cap fits a bit differently and it uses different screws. So you cannot use the original retaliator screws because this slot over here is too narrow. You have to use the Recon Mk II screws, but the Recon Mk II screws are too narrow to fit in here, so no backwards compatibility, which kind of sucks. So yeah, just gonna give you guys a quick firing demonstration on this thing. Here we go. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. It's firing as expected, and that's about it. And we've come to the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for staying all the way throughout. I really wanted to share all those cons with you guys because I really thought that this guy actually has a pretty nice shell. Very interesting, very sci-fi-ish because of this trigger guard over here, and it's a bit more squarish. Looks like very blocky, something like a Star Wars kind of blaster, you know, some space age thing. So I thought it was going to be cool, and I ran into all these problems. Of course, you know, it could be because Hasbro actually has plans, you know, or they are forcing you to buy proprietary stuff. I don't know, but I just want you guys to take note of these things if you're actually interested in, you know, or thinking of porting all your old accessory kits into this shell over here. Okay, so just be careful. The next thing for this guy, once you've actually installed the back rail on the F10555 rail system, you're gonna have to slide this top rail from the back, and as it reaches towards the front, you notice that it's angling upwards a bit. You got to push it down and then slide it in. And if you guys have a close look, you actually notice that it's a bit bent over here, very slightly. Okay, I don't know whether it will come up nicely on the camera because the camera lens catches images different from what the eye sees. I hope this video was informative to you guys. This is actually what I wanted to do, and I'm not very impressed, so I'm actually thinking of moving everything back to my retaliator because somehow it looked better that way. I don't know, but yeah, if I didn't try it, I wouldn't know, and you know, I don't know if anyone else would try it, so I just wanted you guys to know and be aware of what you're getting into before you actually go ahead and do it. Alright, it's actually simple mods, small little simple mods, but it's just things that, you know, you don't actually have to do because things have already been made for the retaliator. So that's my 2 cents. One last thing before I end this episode, to everyone who's celebrating the Lunar New Year, 新年快乐，恭喜发财，年年有余，万事如意。Okay, have yourselves a great celebration, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Drills pay the bills, and teamwork makes the dream work. Peace.